I don't know whose story this is, but somebody's going to be able to relate to this story I'm about to tell. I know a lot of people have been hearing about destiny swapping on these platforms over the past maybe 2 to 3 years. That has been a very, very hot topic. Destiny swapping. Everybody who has ever talked about it has various different takes on what that means. Some people say that your destiny cannot be hijacked, can't be swapped from you. Some people believe that people will mirror your paths to try to inherit what they believe is destined for you based on results that they've already seen that appear to be favorable. Regardless of what you believe as it relates to destiny swapping, it can happen in a very manufactured, very multi-layered way. And if you are not careful, you'll find yourself on the receiving end of someone trying to live the life that has been destined for you. This story that I'm about to tell is somebody's actual life. This is someone's life. Maybe not all of the details, but I can guarantee that this person can relate to what I'm about to say. I'm speaking to a woman. I'm not speaking to a man. I'm talking exclusively to a woman. There was a woman that was a part of your life who has been a part of your life your entire life. This could be a sister, this could be a mother, this could be a best friend, this could be a cousin, this could be an aunt, someone closely related to you for the majority of your life. The way in which she interacted with you started to shift when you started to acquire nice things in your life. So as long as you were kind of not on the scene, as long as you were isolated from people, as long as nobody really saw you or heard you, nobody really knew you. Okay. Maybe you were one of those people that stayed to yourself a lot. Maybe you were one of those people that live a pretty quiet life and you didn't allow people to really get personal with you as much. So now this person started to see you acquiring a life that you deserve. You come from a family where it has not always been the best for you. It's been a kind of a negative, maybe dysfunctional type of family system. And unfortunately for you, you sought solitude as a way to escape a lot of the dysfunction that you come from. And so that's kind of like that Bruno thing. It's like nobody discusses Bruno because Bruno is always kind of like in hiding. He's in the basement or in an attic somewhere. And not saying that you are exactly a Bruno, but you were one of those people where you could not pretend to be fake and you could not hide your emotions. You couldn't even hide your facial expressions. You are maybe neurodivergent. Maybe you are somebody, that's on the spectrum or something, but you could not just lie to people. It's just something that you couldn't do. And so to prevent yourself from showing your disdain, you made a decision to just be away from people. And so out of sight, out of mind, a lot of people really kind of wrote you off because nobody ever really saw you. You were so quiet for the majority of your life. Nobody really knew you. So people assumed and concluded whatever they wanted about you because they didn't know you. Up until the point of something changing. In your adult life, maybe the mid part of your life, I'll say maybe mid 20s, you develop confidence that people had never seen before. Because as I said, you decided to come out of this little cocoon and allow yourself to be seen. And when people saw you, your beauty was on display, your talents were on display, a lot of your personality was on display, and no one knew that. And when people got to see you and all of these qualities, a lot of people became very jealous of what they saw. They did not tell you that they were jealous, but they were. They were very jealous. And the more people saw you, the more jealousy grew within them. And what ended up happening was either you graduated from college or you got a new job or you got a new place or something or a new car, but it was a point in time in your life where you had got something new, something big, a big life goal. And when you got that big life goal, This woman, it was just a woman. It wasn't like many people. Now, there were many people around you who were jealous of you, but this one woman in particular, she became obsessed with your beauty, your intelligence, your personality, your hard work. Like, she just never knew you had all of that within you because no one ever saw you. But the more she saw you, the more it appeared that your life was advancing. And this woman that was close to you most of your whole life, she grew jealous of you. And so what she decided to do was go behind your back, and she wanted to destroy it, but she could not do that obviously in the forefront. So she made a decision to use whatever you told her as an opportunity to hook you up with someone else that you did not know, but that she knew, but she was going to put you guys in like a cross paths. Okay. And the way that she was going to do this was by information that you told her. I don't know if you told her where you worked, where you went to school, what dating apps you be on, or whatever. But you told her some personal information through confidence because you thought you guys were close. And what she did was got with some man that she knew that did not know you, but she knew this guy. And she got with this guy, and she came up with this crazy plan that this guy was going to be a honey trap to your life. Okay. So she started seeing you advancing, and she wanted to slow it down, and she wanted to stop it completely because she started feeling competitive towards you, and she couldn't compete with you because she never felt good enough within herself. She didn't feel pretty enough, she didn't feel whatever enough. She just could not compete with you in terms of like an equal playing field. So because she started getting jealous of you and she couldn't compete with you fair and square, she wanted to dismantle your life. But the way she was going to do it is by getting a guy involved without your knowledge. So she got with this guy, and she told this guy about where you worked or where you went to school or what dating apps or whatever you be on. Okay. Because this is what you told her because you thought you guys were cool. But when you gave that information out, she told this guy everything that he needed to know about you, your personality, how you think, your thought process, all of the things that she thought she knew about you. She told it to this guy. And the reason why she told him is because she wanted him to mirror you so that when you guys come into contact, you would think that this person and you had chemistry and y'all had something in common. But this was all manufactured without your knowledge. And so you ended up meeting this guy. And when you met this guy, you started noticing, like, oh, we seem like we kind of are similar. He seems to have kind of mirrored some of your attributes and characteristics. And so after a while, everything seems to have been going good. But this guy was a very narcissistic, very dark person. And you did not know that this was really a warlock on a spiritual level. You didn't know that he was a warlock. He wasn't just a narcissist, he was a warlock. And he was supposed to come into your life and waste your time. Okay. That was his job. She set you up without your knowledge with this guy to come into your life, rush you into a relationship, and slow down your progress. So he was supposed to be a honey trap type of distraction. And his job was to come into your life, distract you from your progress, distract you from the work that you were doing, distract you from school or whatever you were doing, and not only distract you, but to slow you down and to ultimately break your heart. Okay, make you fall in love with him and then break your heart, because the job of him coming into your life, sweeping you off your feet, presenting himself to be Mr. Perfect, was so that you could start trying to build a life with this person. But the overall goal was for nothing to progress. He wasn't there for you guys to excel in life. He was there to make it appear like you were advancing, but nothing was supposed to ever move. So his job was to come in and just sabotage your progress. But not only that, break your heart in the process and then ultimately drive you insane. Okay? Entertainment purposes, but this is someone's story. And that was supposed to be the overall objective. But secretly, this woman was attracted to this man that she set you up with. Okay. But she didn't think that he was attracted to her because she was not conventionally attractive by most people's standards. So because she didn't feel like he would want her, she just suppressed her attraction to this guy. But she really secretly wanted to be this guy's type, and you would obviously be the guy's type. But she didn't think she had a shot with the guy. So she set him up with you, but she knew that this guy was not he was a no good person. He was not anybody that was going to come in and help you for the better. He was a time waster and he was a manipulative person. So when she set this all up, something very big had happened for you. And she wanted a lot of these successes to stop. So when she sent this guy on your path, the reason why she know that he was in your life is because you told her. Okay, you told this woman you had met this man and you were very excited about this guy. And she act like she didn't know who he was. But the entire time, she knew who this guy was. Okay? She knew him very well for a very long time, many years. And so she just pretended like, oh my God, I'm so happy for you. And you told her all of these details about what he was doing for you. And she knew that her plan was working. He came in, he swept you off your feet. He told you all of these sweet nothings. He sold you all of these dreams. He love bombed you, was buying you all of this stuff and just making it seem like he was the man of your dreams. And it was working. And you were so happy and you were telling her all of your business. And she knew that this honey trap was going as planned. Well, what ended up happening was this guy quickly swooped in, swept you off your feet because you yourself had unhealed trauma. Okay. You didn't know that you did, but you did. The reason why you allowed someone to come into your life that quickly and to sweep you off your feet, so to speak, is because you long for love. You did. You long for love. And this person looked unassuming. They seemed like a great catch on paper. They didn't seem like much of a threat. So it seemed like a safe choice. And you went with it. Now, this person presented themselves to be accomplished and to have things that you always wanted and that you were working towards. So this person came on acting like they were going to be a partner to you to help you guys both progress in life. So this person ended up moving you out of your place of residence where you had been for a while, doing well, paying your own bills. You were doing fine. You were not struggling in any sense of the word. But this person came on board to make it seem like, oh, we can get bigger and we can get better. And this person moved you, and that was the goal, to move you out of what you had already established, to make it seem like we were moving on up. So this person moved you out of your place and move you into a bigger place. And it looked like you guys were succeeding and you were very ecstatic and very happy. And word got back to this woman who did not like you, who was secretly competing with you and that wanted you miserable, that you were doing well and that you guys had a bigger home and you guys were doing really good. And when she found out that, she was very upset because he was supposed to help you or make it appear that he was helping you, but not advance you for real. Okay. And she felt like you were living better than her now. Okay. And there was a part of her that felt like maybe this honey trap guy was falling for you and he wasn't supposed to be falling for you. His job was just supposed to come, waste your time, waste your life, break your heart, drive you mad. But it appeared that he was trying to build a life with you and she did not like that. And so I'll say for maybe about a year or two, however that works, you and this guy started having a lot of conflict. And you start finding out that this person who was supposed to waste your time anyway was actually doing just that. He was cheating a lot on you. So you discover that along the way. Not only that, you started to realize that when you were alone and you were single, it seemed like your life was better than when it was when you guys were together because you had bills piling up with this person. You started to be in a lot of debt with this person, and a lot of the financial responsibilities were not being met with this person. And that was the job. Her setting you up with this guy without your knowledge was the goal. She saw you having your life together, being responsible, taking care of your business, doing what you're supposed to do as a mature adult. And she set your life up with an irresponsible, impulsive, destructive person who looked like they were successful, but they really were not, because of their irresponsibility. So she got you with this guy, and this guy made it appear on the outside that you guys were advancing, but behind closed doors, this person was causing you all kind of pain. They were cheating on you. They were laughing with the people they were cheating on you with. They had different types of people in your homes when you was at work, when you were at school, or whatever you had to do throughout the day. It was one of these things where some of the people that they were cheating on you with lived in the neighborhood, or one of the women that were cheating on you, that the man was cheating on you with, moved into your neighborhood, maybe a few blocks down, maybe around the corner, who knows. But it was very close. And every time you left, he would call that woman and text that woman, and she would come flying into your driveway or on the side of the street, or drive and park a block over, and she would be in your home, in your bed, in your home with your man, this man that you were with. And everybody laughed about this, okay? Because that's the job of this person, just to be a time waster, okay? If you think back, maybe I'll say 2 years prior to meeting that person, when you were single, when you were by yourself, you were succeeding far much more greater than when you were with this person. You had your own place, you had your own transportation, you had your own job, you were doing well. Your bills were paid, your debts were getting reduced, you were on to bigger and better things, and you were very attractive. When you got with this man, that this woman, this honey trap that this woman set you up with, it appeared that you had moved up in life because you got into a better zip code, and you had a better home and uh maybe a better car or something, but none of the bills were getting paid. You were in more debt than ever. You were stressed out. Your nervous system was in a wreck, and your appearance and your looks started to go down because you were stressed all the time because of all of the bills and all of the cheating. So in essence, you really were regressing instead of progressing, but nobody really knew because you didn't tell all of your business. Okay. So nobody really knew, not even this person that set you up with this honey trap guy. So what ended up happening is the guy was reporting back to this lady in your life and telling her everything that was going on, and how he was breaking your heart, how, whatever. It was a contractual thing for however long. But he was doing his job, okay? He was messing up your credit. He was destroying your nervous system. He was just turning everything into just flipping your life upside down, so to speak. But because you are a prideful person, a private person, it looked like you were doing well. And any progress that was made in that relationship with this honey trap guy, it was you that was doing it. So if you shared like cooking or anything like that, you made it appear like you guys' life was better than what it was. So whatever people saw, whether you were going out on trips and going out on dates, and you were cooking these elaborate meals and just living a good, healthy, wholesome life, that type of classy living that people saw was actually coming from you. And without you knowing it, you were putting yourself out there for people to see what they thought he was doing. So they thought everything that all of this, putting this, making it seem like this suburban, successful life you guys were living was really him. It was really you. And just like anybody, especially with social media, we kind of prop ourselves up to make ourselves appear to be more than what we are. And without you knowing it, you were kind of doing the same. Nobody shows highlight downs, everybody shows their highlight ups. So that is what you were doing. And there were women on the outside who looked at your life and they thought that what you were showing was coming from the man, when really it was coming from you. Every mess that man made in your life, you were going behind him trying to clean it up. And you had no idea that he was purposely doing this. Every time you got one step forward, he would knock you guys 5 to 6 steps back. He would make sure that no progress in real time was being made. And because you are a solution oriented person, and because you can almost repair and fix anything, he would see in real time that no matter how much mess up he did, you came through, swooped through, cleaned it up, and made it look like nothing happened. And he got tired of that because that wasn't the goal. The goal wasn't for you guys to get ahead. The goal was to waste your time. Because if he was to waste your time, he was wasting your life. And that was the overall goal. So whatever he went behind your back and told to this person, they came up with another plan. And that other plan was to move you away from where you guys were and move you in close proximity to where she was. Because unbeknownst to you, not only was this man a warlock who also was jealous of you, this woman was a witch who had been jealous of you for probably the majority of your life, or for, like I said, the time that you were advancing in life. She started to become very jealous, and she started to become very dark. And she did not want to see you happy at all. She didn't want to see you have a love life. She didn't want to see you financially stable. She didn't want to see you successful. She didn't want to see you professionally advancing. She didn't want to see you beautiful. She didn't want to see you in shape. She didn't want people to see you at all. If she could, she would have erased you out of the picture of life. This is how jealous this woman was of you. And you did not know it because she was smiling in your face, staying on the phone with you to all the wee hours of the night, only when bad things would happen. And it wasn't just with that man, it would be with any man or anything in life when your life was on a downslope. So if anything bad was happening in your life, she would be right there in your corner, acting like she was supporting you. But if you notice anything good had happened in your life, she was MIA, very little vocal approval. She did not want to see you happy in anything at all. It literally broke her heart to see you smile. It made her shed tears when other people saw you in a highlight. That woman hated your guts, not because of who you were and what you did to her, but because of who she was and what she did not see in her. And everything that she wanted, you had it. No matter how hard your life had been, you made your life look easy. And it just seemed like things just went your way. And there was, and I don't know why, a fixation on your beauty. There was a fixation on your beauty. And it's not like you were just drop dead gorgeous, just this stunning, pretty person. It's just certain features on your face that make you so alluring. So maybe the fullness of your lips, or the shape of your eyes, or the smoothness of your skin, or something like that. But there are physical features that make you very, very attractive to men in particular. And you don't have to do much of anything. You don't have to show your body or anything. It's just your energy and something with your face. Okay. And this woman did not feel pretty at all about anything, not her face, her body, her hair, her nails, her skin, her anything, for whatever reason. And you had it, and she did not want you to have it. And so she felt like, with you being in a good place in life, obviously you can invest in yourself more. You obviously could invest in your hair more, your skin more, going to the gym more, because she had known you for a lot of years of your life. So she knew the hobbies you had, your interests, and the things that you did to maintain your life. And so she felt like if she could help force you into a struggle, that you were not going to be as pretty anymore, and you were not going to be as at ease anymore, and life was not going to go in your favor as much as it seemed to her. Keep in mind, she was on the outside looking in. Okay? She was on the outside looking into your life. And so this guy and this woman, who was a honey trap guy, who was He was a setup. This was not a boyfriend. This was not a love of your life. This was a setup. And that guy and that woman came up with a plan to move you out of that area to get you closer to her, because she needed to monitor you more. Because what she wanted to do was, in her, she didn't tell this guy, in her, she wanted to really stick it to you. She got tired of playing the long game with waiting for your life to collapse. She wanted it over now. She wanted it over now. And so her and that guy got together and they decided that they were going to move close to where she was. Okay? You did not know a lot of this stuff because you were in your own bubble and you didn't bother anybody. So you went to work, you went to school, or whatever you did productively every day. So you don't know that people will do this type of manufacturing to people's lives, sending handlers on their lives. You would never think that your life would be like a movie, but it was. And these people moved you. So you guys ended up downgrading and you moved closer to, in close proximity to this person. And with that person being there, her overall goal was to get in that house. Okay? When they moved you, her job was to get in your home, because unbeknownst to you, she started getting to some very, very dark things. She got very dark. And she wanted your life at all costs. She got tired of seeing you on social media looking pretty, uh, people talking about you highly. You just started to become like the talk of the town in a very positive way. She also got tired of people that you guys know complimenting you. Everybody starts saying how pretty you were, how hardworking you were, how you were doing all of this and you were doing all of that. And, you just started succeeding and advancing in life. And the more people complimented you and the more people spoke highly of you, the more her anger and envy grew. And she was like, oh, yeah, I'm so happy for her. Yeah, she's doing the damn thing. Yeah, she doing good. And yeah, she got it going on. I'm so happy for her. But in her heart, it burned. Every compliment you received, it burned her. Anytime she saw somebody on social media speaking highly of you, it burned her. Every success, every promotion, every pay grade, it burned her. To see you happy and have a family life, it burned this woman. She could not stand your guts. And the more her jealousy and envy grew, the more she would try to smile in your face to cloak herself in this disguise of support. But it was only to monitor you and to watch you. She had not only conspired to create the downfall of your life, but to watch at the front seat of when your life was to collapse. And her job was to pretend that she did not know what had happened to you. But it was all a part of her destiny swapping plan. And so she had to stay close to get the tea, to get the intel, and for you to tell your business, because her job was to pretend to be supportive. And anytime you found yourself in a bad situation or a challenging place, you would go run to her because it was like a best friend or a mom or aunt or whoever this woman was, your sister, whoever. This was someone close to you that you trusted. And because she had pretended to be supportive to you for so long, whenever life did not go your way, you were like, oh, let me call such and such. Because this is what, quote unquote, you guys did. But you would notice as time went on, she didn't tell so much of her life as much as you told of your life. And that was on purpose. They moved you in close proximity. And I told you that she wanted to be with that guy. The things that she saw you guys, quote unquote, having, like the positive stuff, she thought it was him that was getting you guys these things. But really, it was you building this life and making it look attractive. Any stability that it appeared that you guys had, that was on you, because that guy was making it his mission to not live up to his responsibility. So what ended up happening is he and her did get in close proximity to what she was. And so she started watching you. keeping an eye on everything, because ultimately she wanted to backstab you and she wanted you to know it. She got tired of pretending to like you. She got tired of pretending like she cared. She wanted to betray you in the ultimate way. And the way that she was going to do that is she was going to get in that house and sleep with that man. She wanted to know also how you were living. Even though you talk to this woman, you are not so close to this woman in time, because the Holy Spirit had put on your heart that something's not right with that woman. You didn't have any evidence to prove it, and you even tried to suppress the way you felt. But God had told you that something is not right with that woman. You could feel it. You could feel the fakeness with her. And as time went on, she could not shake it. As time grew, she could not shake how much she could not stand you. But she needed to do a destiny swap in her mind, because all of the attention that you naturally got, all of the beauty that you possess, the stability that you appear to have, how it looked like your life was all together, she wanted people to see her in that light. She got tired of feeling like the rejected one, or the unattractive one, or just the lady in the corner somewhere. She was always the pretend supportive friend to everybody. She was the safe person. She was a person nobody ever felt threatened by, for whatever reason. And she got tired of feeling like that. And so, for whatever reason, she zoomed in on you. No one else. You. You were so quiet. You were so classy. You were so well put together. And she wanted that to be her. Even though she didn't live anything like you. But she wanted people to see her like they saw you. She wanted the compliments. She wanted people to think of her highly. So the best way that she could do that is to get into your energy. And she wanted to do that by an unconventional way. And that was to sleep with that guy. She knew that that man was pretty loose and that that man would go. And what she decided to do was to wait for a while, catch that guy at an unsuspected place, and create a moment of vulnerability so that she could sleep with that man. And so what ended up happening is there was a breakdown in that relationship, and you went and told this woman your problems. You told her that, oh, he's doing this and he's doing that and he's not doing this and he's not doing that. And she would just sit there and listen to you, collecting information. You did not know that she was going to use that as an opportunity to backdoor you, go behind you, and go reach out to that guy and create this story. She was going to embellish on whatever you said so that she could get somewhere quiet and get him alone. And she told that guy that you were thinking about leaving him. Okay? You were not supposed to leave him. He was supposed to leave you. You were never supposed to leave the honey trap. The honey trap was supposed to leave you broken, shattered, destroyed, just without anything. It was supposed to be his call, not yours. And she went and told this guy that you were considering leaving him and discarding him. And so what they decided to do to get back at you was to sleep together behind your back. Now, it was supposed to be an inside thing, and they were supposed to play in your face, and you were never supposed to know. So when you left for either work or for school or whatever you do on your daily, just like those other women were coming to that other house without you knowing it, this woman, this Judas in your life, they decided to get together and sleep in your bed in your house. Now, as I said, no matter how close you were with that woman, you never invited that woman into your home. Even though you live very close to that woman, you never invited her into your home. But this day, him and her came together and he invited that woman into your home without you knowing, and they slept together in your bed and in your house. She saw everything in your house, and it was very opposite of what she had for her and her family. And she even grew more jealous because after her and that guy had their intimacy, Whatever type of exchange they had. And if you know anything about witches and warlocks, they don't just have intimacy, they engage in sex magic. He had satisfied her so much that she wanted it more. It was not just that one time, she wanted it more. And she felt like the only way she could feel equal to you is to sleep with this honey trap guy. And he only slept with her because she was close to you and he knew that you were getting tired of his mess and that you were going to leave him. And so it was an inside thing for him. It was like an internal insult to sleep with someone close to you. It was that type of betrayal. So for him, he was not even attracted to this woman. He only slept with her to get back at you. And for her, she wanted to feel like you. So she slept with this man that was with you. But she wanted it more and more and more. And she felt like the only way that she could try to get him was now to get you out the picture. It wasn't no longer just hurting you, breaking your heart and destroying your mind. She wanted to be you now. She wanted everything that was destined for you. And if you notice around this time, because they thought you did not know that they had slept together in your home, you notice that around that time, that woman started to not only create distance with you, but she started excluding you from everything she had. Okay? Anything major she had, she would not invite you. She would invite everybody but you. So nobody would ever know that this woman has this type of capability and malice in her heart for another person because she makes it seem like she is non-threatening, she's supportive of everybody, and she is the do girl. Somebody asks her to do something. Oh, I'm right on top of that. Okay, yeah, I got you. She's that type of person. The people pleaser to everybody. But secretly, she knows everybody's business. She seems to be everywhere all the time with the intel on everybody. She's a secret gossip queen that knows everything. And the way she gets in people's lives is through false humility, false religion, pretending to be Christian. And she is a false people pleaser. She uses flattery to get in the lives of people and find out all of their information. And she talks about everybody around her behind their back. But for whatever reason, she was obsessed with you. She'll tell you about everybody's business, but you had no idea that she was telling everybody about your business, especially because you seemed mysterious and you were very private. So when she got the tea on you, everybody was sitting there front and center, couldn't wait to hear what was going on behind closed doors in your life because you did not allow anybody to be privy to your personal information but this one girl, this woman. And that's the way that she got attention from other people as it relates to you, talking down on you. Because nobody ever thought lowly of you until this woman brought gossip to try to make people see you in a negative light. Because she got tired of everybody talking about you so positive, how good you got it going on, how much you're doing, how pretty you are. She got tired of it. So when she slept with that man in your home, and they betrayed you. They thought you did not know it, but you started noticing the way they were moving. Both of them. They started moving around each other as if they did not want to be around each other. So they start avoiding each other, even though they were not supposed to really know each other personally. That was supposed to be the thing. This was supposed to be a man that you met on your own accord. You were not supposed to know that this was a setup that she sent him on your path. But what ended up happening, he was like, okay, so it seemed like they're kind of avoiding each other. Okay, I don't know all of the details, but it just seemed like they were avoiding each other and you did not know why. And then also, too, she started excluding you from things, not inviting you anywhere. She didn't want you nowhere around. She didn't want nobody to see you. She didn't want nobody to hear you. She wanted you gone for real. She fell in lust with that man, that honey trap guy. And not only did she want to be you, she wanted you gone. She didn't want no one to see you, hear you, nothing. She started to really feel completely threatened by your presence. And I know this sounds bizarre, but this is somebody's story. you wondered why you kept feeling in your heart like this woman was up to something, but you couldn't put your finger on it. And the Holy Spirit kept telling you that woman's jealous of you, but you kept suppressing it because you knew this person most of your life. You refused to believe that that woman had it out for you to this extent because you knew your enemies. You knew people that didn't like you. You knew people who were jealous of you. You knew people who didn't care for you. But you would never suspect that this person that you had trusted your whole life would be the one that wanted your life and wanted you gone because she played the role of friend, of family, or of whoever she was to you. She played that role to the T. She should get an Oscar and a Golden Globe for her performance. The more and more she distanced herself, she would do subliminals to confirm what you felt in your heart about her jealousy. So on social media, she would not support you publicly about nothing positive. Okay. You started to notice less and less communication from her on social media. Other people would heart your stuff. Other people would, congratulate you. But subtly, she started to pull back. But she would always be in those views in the story. Soon as you put up a story, she's the first one to see it. She's the first one to witness it. She's right there front and center every time you put up a story. And at that time, you shared a lot of your life. You shared, your wins. If you got a promotion, you would share that. If you and your family went out and y'all looking good and feeling good, you would share that. You would share your vacations. You would share what you was eating that day. You would share, if you looked good, you would put those selfies up. Like you would share a lot of yourself on social media because to a degree, you were naive to evil eye. You had no idea that people would be so jealous that they would want to take you out and take your life. So you would share that stuff with people just like most people do now. But she would always be right there, always in the views, never in the engagements. Always in the views, never in the engagements. And keep in mind, she wasn't that far from you in terms of proximity and location. Now, this woman, she started throwing out subliminals. Okay. She didn't invite you, but she would have an event and she would throw out a subliminal. And you like, hold up, I think she could be talking to me. She could, but you could not provide evidence, but you felt it in your spirit that the energy just wasn't right. So one day you had a dream about this woman. You had a dream. She came in your dream, but she came in your dream in the form of a snake. It was a snake. And it wasn't just one, it was more than one snake. And you did not know what those snakes represented. You did not know who those snakes were, but one of those snakes were her. It was not just one snake, it was a dream with multiple snakes, but she was one of the snakes. You had a big snake, you had a little snake, and there could have been more, but it was a big snake and it was a snake that was relatively smaller than that one. And you were trying to figure out what is going on because you could feel there was an energy that was dark, that was heavy in your life, and you were in a celebratory mood because you started seeing some things happen for you, right? You wasn't always down, because even though you were with this man that was a honey trap that was causing you a lot of pain, that was cheating all the time, you could still have moments where you were succeeding in different areas of your life. So you wasn't like in a depressive state. But moments where you were supposed to be celebrating, there was something lurking in the background, but you could not put your finger on it. You were confused about this energy. You could not pinpoint where it was coming from and who it was coming from and what it was about. That snake energy was your divine confirmation that there were people in your life close to you that were not only secretly betraying you behind your back, but they were about to do a mighty blow to you. Something major was going to happen to alter your life beyond repair. And God was warning you in your dream about this person and possible more people involved, but really ultimately her. Whenever you see snakes in your dream, that means that something deceitful is brewing in your life. Either it is happening or it is about to happen. It is a spiritual warning that destruction is in your midst. And so you felt something in your spirit said, pull back from this woman. Pull back. Something not right. So you made a decision that you didn't want to be with that guy anymore, that honey trap. When you decided that you didn't want to be with that honey trap anymore, you told him, hey, I'm tired. I'm tired. You know the discussion that you had with that person. You know the mature conversation that was had. You told that guy you can't do it no more. And you thought it would just be a normal breakup. Okay? People break up every day. So you thought that this was going to be a normal breakup. I'm going to go on my way. He's going to go on his way. And we wish each other well. No, you were wrong. It wasn't supposed to go down like that. They were not supposed to let you get off easy like that. You were never supposed to just walk away because this was never a real relationship. This was an orchestration. This was a handler, and his job was to damage you beyond repair. You were not supposed to be able to survive him. And so he made it look like he was letting you go. Okay, you don't want to be with me anymore. That's fine. So when you walked away and he walked away, it was supposed to be just a natural breakup. People get brokenhearted and they go on about their business. So that's what happened. He moved out of your way and made it look like he had agreed to this breakup. You moved out of his way and you looked like it was just over with. Now you could pick up the pieces of the puzzle to your life. Now you could pick up the pieces again. Now with him gone, things got quieter. You start feeling relieved. All of a sudden, in a very short period of time, you felt relieved. Things got quiet. You started feeling less burden in your heart because you didn't have nobody cheating on you no more. You didn't have anyone emotionally and mentally abusing you anymore. And you didn't have that heavy feeling like you had before. And keep in mind, he was ruining y'all's life financially, relationships wise, just burning bridges left to right. You really could never get ahead with that man. And he knew it. So when you guys walked away, you felt a burden lift off of you. Now you can live the life that you always wanted because you don't have anyone blocking your path. It's one thing when it's just you and you're dealing with natural challenges. Yeah, it could be a little bit of an uphill battle, but you can move at an accelerated pace at when it's just you. But when it's another person, because you can't control their energy, their movement, and their decisions, everything they do becomes a burden on you because it's weight added to you and you can't control the weight. He was added weight to your life and he became a ball and chain to your life. But when you cut him off, all of that energy released from you. So what was meant for you could now come to you. So what ended up happening is in a short period of time, you started noticing a lot of your favor trickling in. Out of nowhere, you got blessed with a promotion at your job. Or you got that new job that you went for. You went for the job, you went to the interview, and you got it just like that. Or you went for that promotion and you got that promotion just like that. And then you notice physically all of that weight you carried in your body, your nervous system being a wreck, your pH being thrown off, all of that just cleared up out of nowhere. Your skin started looking smoother and clearer than it ever did. Your hair that was once brittle and breaking off started growing out of nowhere. Your nails got stronger. Your eyes got clearer. Your autoimmune system, it started to feel regulated again. And you could even go to the gym more. You could even eat less, or you no longer had the cravings for the sugar and the salt and the carbs and the processed foods anymore. And you just couldn't put your finger on it, but you were going through a spiritual shift. But because you're not that religious or that spiritual, you was like, okay, I just got a toxic person out of my life. That's what you just chunked it up to. But you had no idea that that person was a blessing blocker, that he was blocking your life from any success, and everything that was supposed to go to you, he was getting your blessings in your place when he was connected to you, and he was taking them and he was sharing them with other people behind your back. That's why nothing really could get to you. You always got the crumbs of your favor. You never really got the totality of your favor when that honey trap was in your life. But when God allowed that person to break you so bad that you had to walk away, all of that favor came back. Well, keep in mind that destiny swapping woman that wanted your life, she started to see that even though you were not with that man anymore, she started seeing favor over your life. You started looking better. You kind of got quiet, but she started seeing you advancing because she was a monitoring spirit not that far from you. She knew where you worked. She knew what school you went to. She knew that you had good things happening in your life. And it was not supposed to be that way. You were supposed to be heartbroken. You were supposed to be down and out. You were supposed to be calling her, gossiping on the phone about what that man did to you. You were supposed to be a wreck. But she started seeing you going up. And she could not have that because the whole purpose of orchestrating that honey trap was for him to destroy you beyond repair. And he did not do his job. So they got together with another plan. He started seeing like you coming up in life. Good things are happening for you. And he got jealous because his life wasn't going the way that it was supposed to go. Because keep in mind, he's in his own energy now. He's no longer in your energy. So he was inheriting struggle because that's his natural energy. He was inheriting struggle. He was going through a lot of heaviness. He was dealing with a lot of instability because that's his energy. No matter how much money he gets or whatever he decides to do in his life, he's going to always have instability because that's his energy. He's not a good person. He's not a balanced person. He's not a righteous person. And so with you gone, he could feel the difference in the quality of his life. And he told that woman to keep an eye on you because they were going to come up with another plan. This is when what a lot of spiritual people would call group activity. I don't like to use the word GS at all. If anybody has been on my page, you know I don't use that word. But this is where community activity comes into play. Because it wasn't just that woman and that man. They got some other people to get on board with them to try to terrorize you and to try to make your life hell. They did not want you to succeed in that environment. She didn't want you in that neighborhood. She didn't want you having a home. She didn't want you looking pretty, looking beautiful. He didn't want any men to want you. They did not want you to succeed in business. They didn't want you to succeed in your job. They didn't want you to succeed on campus at that school. They did not want anything for you. So what they decided to do was, especially him, they decided that they were going to pay people a few little dollars and promises of much more to help them disturb your life. And this is how sinister this destiny swap got, because it wasn't just a destiny swap for her now, it was also a destiny swap for him. And behind your back, they started messing with each other even more. Behind everybody's back. Like this wasn't going to be a public thing. It was a secret thing where those two started sleeping with each other behind everybody's back. So nobody knew that they were secretly getting together, but they were. They were doing this. They were doing it for betrayal, but they was also doing it just as a Judas energy, because that's what dark and demented people do. They just think like they're doing this forbidden thing to get at another person, and it creates an adrenaline rush, and it makes this sneaking around and this deception even greater. Even though these are, well, she was attracted to him, but he was never attracted to her. But because of who she was to you, he just kept sleeping with her because he just wanted to be spiteful to you. So this betrayal, this energy that they were circulating with each other, even with sneaking around with each other, was just to get back at you, even though they thought you did not know, but you knew the entire time. And there are many ways that you knew because they were sloppy with it. And what she decided to do was she decided to no longer talk to you. When you decided to leave that man and life was going better for you, you decided you were going to reach out, but something in your heart said, don't Don't. Don't do it. But not only that, she decided that she was going to get with that guy and they were going to smear you. Okay. She did not want you to get a better relationship because that was a fake relationship. That honey trap, that was not a real relationship. That was a fake relationship. She didn't want you to get a real guy and have a real love because she look at you and feel like you get everything you want, including men. There were a lot of men that were attracted to you, but because you are a woman of class and standards, you just don't go for no anybody. You're not about to settle with no bum and no nobody. She knows that. And so she felt like with you being single, on the scene and available, looking good and advancing, easily you were going to get swooped up by some man with money and somebody of means because she's male centered and you're not. She never felt pretty, she never felt good enough, and she know that you're all of the things she always wanted to be, but you're not male centered. So you just get whatever you want without asking for it. And she did not want you to have for some reason it was really a love life, anyone to love you. She felt like everybody always thought of you highly. She didn't want you to have no community. She did not want you to have support. She didn't want you to have a man. She didn't want you to have nobody to love you because everybody just loved you. So she decided with that man that they were going to turn everyone against you and to make you feel like she felt abandoned, rejected, not good enough, not attractive, not supported. She wanted that for her and she wanted to take it from you. So they got together and decided to make everyone ignore you. Okay? So everybody publicly was supposed to ignore you. But behind closed doors, people were supposed to be doing little bitty psychological tactics to make you uncomfortable. Passive aggressive things. I've talked about this before on my page. Passive aggressive things. These are psychological tactics that people do to drive people mad. But everyone purposely ignored you. But they created this group chat, okay, where they would sit back and they would watch the stuff that they would do, and they started treating you like your life was the Truman Show, watching the stuff that they were doing in real time to see if you would react, and then everybody would just laugh about it because you were the one that was loved. You're the one that's supported. You're talented, you're gifted, you're pretty, you're classy, you're all of these beautiful things. And but without you knowing it, it was a lot of jealous people around you. It wasn't just women. There were also men who wanted you and you didn't want them, and they wanted you to suffer because you was stuck up according to them. You would not let them have their way with you. And these men, they wanted you out the picture too. They wanted to see your life wrecked too because they were jealous that you wouldn't let them be your man. They didn't feel good enough. And so, because you had all of these lovable traits and because you had all of these attractive traits, it was a lot of people who got on board to play around with your life because you was little Miss Perfect, little Miss got it all together, little Miss not a hair out of place. These people thought you were all of that. And it was a group effort to try to destroy you and bring your life down to your knees. It wasn't just that woman. She was one of many. And it wasn't just that honey trap. All of them got mad because not only did you pull back access to your life, but they felt like you getting quiet, you were going to boss up bigger than ever before. And they wanted to stop you. They could not have that happen in their face on their watch. And they decided to try to interfere with your success, your progress in your life. And all these people in this little community, in this environment, they all were going to try to stop you by not without supporting you. Anything you did, the goal was to not support you. Anything. Now, you could be the most talented person in that environment, but everybody was supposed to ignore your talent, ignore anything you were promoting, any products that you were selling, ignore any promotions that you had. Everybody was supposed to ignore you. Nobody was supposed to celebrate you because you were supposed to feel rejected and like a low life and a nobody because that's how you make other people feel when you come around. And you didn't do that. You were just existing. but your existence became a threat in that environment because you had outgrown that environment. And many people were fearful that you were too big to be there. And they knew at some point you were going to leave that place, but they were not going to let you do it. It was going to be over their dead bodies. They were not going to let you get out of that place without going with you. So when you decided for whatever reason, and nobody really knows why you cut off who you cut off, but everybody know you did cut off a lot of people, but they don't know why, because they don't know what you know. It's a lot of people that don't know what you know. You knew that girl was weird. God revealed that that woman was weird. And you got evidence in time that she was weird. And then not only did she want your life, she wanted the attention, she wanted the attraction, she wanted your success, she wanted your stability, she wanted everything that you had. But she couldn't get it rightfully. She had to get it manufacturedly, orchestratedly. She had to orchestrate that type of appeal. She couldn't get it on her own. So she tried to get it off you. Nobody ever paid attention to that person until she started talking down on you. Nobody ever even cared about that person until she came with some disparaging or negative information concerning you. And a lot of it was made up because she did not have access to you. So she was just making up rumors. That honey trap guy was just making up stuff. He would just lie and make up stuff because somewhere along the way, people knew you guys were connected, but they did not know that you didn't talk to those people anymore. But because of the past connection, they kept using your past connection as a reference point. They were using the past connection as a reference to tell people, yeah, I know her. She's really like this and she's really like that. She's not this perfect person she pretends to be. She's not this pretty person. They also started picking your looks apart. Keep in mind, remember I told you in the beginning, it was always about your beauty and how you appeal to people. So these were not your conventionally attractive people. Let's be honest. Would attractive people do all of this? These were not traditionally attractive people. These people felt like they were not the best in looks. They felt like they didn't get the best of people, the best of caliber of people, and they felt like you could. You had the potential to get great things in life. So they wanted to make you look like you were some ugly duckling. And we know you. You know you. Who I'm talking to, and it could be many people, you didn't even know how gorgeous you were until you came of age because nobody validated your beauty around you. People wouldn't even compliment you when you were at your prettiest. So they couldn't deny your attractiveness. But when they decided to get together, this little group of people, especially that woman, they made a decision that they were going to start trying to make you look unappealing. And that is when that woman, the girl in particular that I'm talking about, decided to start doing dark magic. She started doing dark magic. It wasn't just hoping and praying and wishing on your downfall. It started now with spells. She started doing spell work. And with this spell work, she decided to zoom in on things that you naturally had that she wanted. And it was your beauty, like your face. It was your hair. It was your body shape. It was your youthfulness. It was something with your youth, your skin, your hair, and your body shape. That's what she was really doing spells against. So if you notice any time in your past where either you got a decrease in appetite or increase in appetite, she was sending that energy. It wasn't really that guy, it was her. She was sending that energy. Also, too, your skin. She started sending beauty spells against your skin because you just always have a dewy glow. And she started sending your skin, like stuff to your skin to try to make you either appear like older than what you were, maybe have more lines, maybe you wasn't getting enough rest so you could have dark circles around your eyes, or maybe acne, stuff you never had before, maybe acne, just wanted you to look and appear dull and old. Same thing with your hair. You started to notice that no matter how good you ate or how much iron you took, but your hair started to look a little thin and everything like that. That was all counter to this person trying to put beauty spells against you. Wanted you to either be underweight or overweight, wanted you to appear older and dull, and wanted your hair to be brittle. The Bible says that our hair is our crown and glory. And I don't know what it was with your hair, but I don't know if you had the longest hair. I don't know if you had the shiniest hair, but it was something with your hair. And then also to something with your body shape. And I even felt like this person may have even been attracted to you. I know that sounds crazy, but when you're dealing with narcissistic people, witches and warlocks, a lot of times these people have secret attractions for men and women or same gender people too. And I don't know if maybe you rejected this person. I don't know, but there was something with that too. It was something always with your appeal, your beauty, your attractiveness. And I don't know if they had a secret crush on you too, but it was something with that, with the beauty thing, because your visibility is your money. A lot of people don't know that beauty is currency, especially for women. The more beautiful you appear to be, the more opportunities you can have, the more support you'll get as well. And I hate that it's like that, but that's the double standard in this society. The more beautiful you are, the more people are likely to support you, and the more eyes you would draw to you. And people just have more of a propensity to want to see you do well because you look like you respect yourself and you invest in yourself. When you look like you love yourself, it make other people love you too. And she and that guy, these people waged war on you because they didn't want you to love yourself. They felt like if you felt rejected, abandoned, not supported, shunned, and you felt isolated and alone, that all of that beauty you have, all your talents, all your gifts, all of the compliments people gave you, all of the appeal, everything that made you, you would feel so low that you would neglect yourself. You would stop working out, or you would stop eating, or you would stop investing in your skincare, your hair care. You would stop taking care of yourself. Like, you would be so depressed that you would have no strength, no energy, and no vitality to pour into yourself anymore. And they wanted people to see you like how they saw themselves. They wanted people to see you as though you were a bum, and that you were nobody, and that you had nothing, and you had no one, and you were a loser. And they wanted you to feel so bad that you would just leave, go away. Because when people don't feel their best, they don't show up nowhere. If you notice that, when you don't feel your best, you're not on the scene. They wanted nobody to hear from you. They wanted nobody to see you. They wanted you off the radar. They wanted people to act like you never existed. And it was mainly her. Yes, that man played a major part in trying to destroy your life, but that honey trap didn't owe you anything. It was mainly that woman. This was somebody that you trusted. This is someone that you love. This is someone that you wanted the best for. But in their heart, they wanted the worst for you. They wanted you to have nothing. They wanted you to feel like nothing. And they wanted you to have nobody. And someone that always felt that way, wanted to feel like how they thought everybody looked at you. And when they thought they got you off the scene, because you did go into isolation for a while, okay? You did. And when you went into isolation to regroup, to muster up your strength again, because you could feel all of that energetic weight on you. You could feel the evil eye. You could feel the witchcraft. You could feel the spiritual warfare against your life. And God told you to just be still. And then he started to reveal some things to you. And then in time, you did get some evidence. So I'm not going to say everything that you possibly got, but this is your story. Then you know what you have, that you have been sitting on and all of this stuff. But in the beginning, you felt very heavy, and everything that they wanted you to feel, you felt the agenda. You felt it. Like, oh, okay, I see what's going on here. But then God, he did put you in isolation, and nobody saw you and nobody heard from you. And they thought it worked. Their plan worked. And they started going all around town, feeling confident about themselves, partying, celebrating your downfall. They're on the scene. Now they're in the spotlight. Now everybody see them. These are people who never felt like people really saw them. Now that you were gone, the threat is gone. Now the destiny swap is successful. And everybody felt good when you were away because your presence, it is intimidating. They feel like when you're around, when you're on the scene, don't nobody see nobody but you. Like you're just that big and that grand. But with you gone, now everybody can be seen. Now everybody can be heard. Now everybody can feel like they're that one because the one of one is gone. And these people celebrated your downfall. I'm just telling you, they partied. People smoked, they drank, they had all kind of orgies. People had a good time when they thought you were down, and they celebrated that. And the destiny swap was successful. So they thought. But in time, whether it was a year or more, you mustered up enough strength behind closed doors. I don't know what you did. I don't know what practices you did. I don't know how you cleansed yourself. I don't know what you did and how you discovered all of this stuff. But I always attribute it, especially when I even talk to my clients, to God Almighty. You started seeing the play that these people wanted you off this planet. They wanted you so low that you would take yourself out. And it would just look like it was just a natural thing, that you was just a depressed person. Your life never just got back on the ground. You just went through a tough time and you just couldn't take it. And you just took yourself out of here. That's how they wanted you to go out. And then everybody was going to pretend like, oh my God, I'm so sad that they're gone. And they were going to be just celebrating your life and how amazing you were. But when you were here, they wanted you gone. And then when you were going to be gone, they were going to pretend like they wished you were here. This is the play. Okay? And this is the play. And if it's people in your family and if they got your personal information, and if that was going to be the play, people could have even got money off of your unexpected self-deletion or something, or you not being here. But yes, there was spiritual warfare involved. There was spiritual manipulation involved. There were dark practices and there was some magic involved. Yes, it was. You are not crazy. It was. And when God revealed their agenda to you, that's when he started bossing you up in silence. He started giving you your strength back. He started giving you your appetite back. You started making better choices for your life. You stopped talking to everyone that was connected to those people. And you noticed that when you did not talk to anyone connected to those people, your life got better. Things started to work in your favor again. You noticed the more you prayed and when you fasted or when you did your cleansings, things started working better for you because you didn't tell nobody your moves anymore. You didn't let people know what was going on in your life anymore. So they couldn't block you the way that they were blocking you before. Even with all of the stalking and the monitoring and the device hackings and whatever else they were doing, it didn't matter. Life started to go favorable for you when things started to slow down, when you had those people around you. And they will watch from afar because they couldn't come and say nothing to you, because what could they say when you were going through these tough times and they disappeared? Who's going to come and say, hey, how you doing? Nobody's going to come and say, how you doing? They just was watching. And whatever means they had to watch, that's what they would use to watch and to monitor. And for some people, you cut off everybody you knew. Everybody, every single person. Even if they didn't do nothing, just because they were connected to those people, you cut them off too. Everybody became a casualty of war. You cut them all off. And you started watching your favor slowly rise again. And then God told you to pop out. I don't know who I'm talking to, but your social media was dormant for about a year or two. And then after a while of gaining your strength again, getting your confidence back, getting your sense of self back, getting your identity back, calling your energy, your essence, and your soul back to you, you got enough confidence and you got back on the scene again. And you popped out. And when you popped out, you had more views than before. You had a lot of people in the views, and then people that you knew from your past that knew you and all of this stuff that went down, even some of them started trying to engage with you. all in the comments now, all in the engagements now. Oh my God, girl, I ain't seen you in so long. Oh, you so beautiful. Oh, you so pretty. Oh, you this, you so this and that. Now, these are the people that saw your downfall. And then they see a year, 2 years later, you're doing better than ever. You're glowing better than you were before. And those people, that woman, that man, and those people that were connected to that little community of people to try to bring you down, they saw you too from fake pages, watching you from fake pages. They started watching you too. And if you notice, if you could go back to people who were doing certain type of energetic manipulation on you, go look at them now. Okay? If you could go look at what they were doing when they thought you were down and go look at them now, that lets you know that you have been vindicated and you receive spiritual justice, because a lot of those people look older than you. They look like life beat they butt. Like life beat they butt, tore them up, and gave them right back to them. They look a mess. Yes, they look haggard. They look haggard. They look, yes, soulless. If you go and see those people look so old for their age. They look dull. What they wanted for you, that's how they look. They look dull. They look gray, fine lines everywhere. They look aged. Some of them, if it's men, their hairlines have receded. They're balding. Their hair is going thin in the middle. For some of the women, they're bigger than ever. Their bodies are bigger than ever. If they wanted you underweight, some of them are skinny with no body shape, no body mass. Skin is not on point. Hair won't grow. When you meet a person and their hair won't grow, that could be a medical deficiency, or that person could be wicked. And you might say, oh, that's a joke. But that's an underlying either health condition, or that person is just in a bad energy. I'm not talking about people with pixie cuts. I'm not talking about people who naturally have just like short naturals. I'm not talking about people that cut their hair on purpose. I'm talking about people who want hair but can't grow any. Either that's an underlying health problem, or that person is just not in good energy. Because your hair is supposed to grow. Your nails are supposed to grow to some extent. Okay? But you see these people, they look a mess. And I'm talking about physically, because that was the focus. A lot of their focus was your visibility. They didn't want you seen. They didn't want you heard. They didn't want people to perceive you. They didn't want people to even know that you existed. So they worked hard on erasing you. And that was the inspiration for this message today. It was about erasing her. That's what the Holy Spirit had put on my heart. Erase her. And if you think about erase her, think about an eraser on a pencil. Erase her. That's what I was inspired. Like I saw a pencil, and then I thought about when the bow breaks, and then I thought about the destiny swapping conversation, and then I don't know. It was like eraser, erase her. And that was the inspiration for my word today. That yes, it was that woman that you thought it was. She wasn't the only, but she was the one that really wanted to see you suffer. And every day that cause see what she does now, she cloaks herself behind people. Okay. So the reason why she has community or have people around her is because she has the same addictions as other people. So she smokes, they smoke. She drinks, they drink. Like they engage in the same habits. So that's the only reason why she has company. But if she was to try to make some changes in that environment, the way you made changes, nobody would even be talking to her either. Because a lot of people are only in community because their habits are the same. Let me say that again. A lot of people are only in community because their addictions and their habits are the same. The less vices you have, the lonelier you will be in this life. They say it's lonely at the top. They're not talking about social hierarchy. They're talking about self-mastery. When you start to advance within layers of discipline within yourself, you're not going to have a whole lot of people relate to you anymore. Because what are we going to relate to? A lot of people are not going to talk to you over a cup of coffee unless they're really about business, or a cup of tea. Those people are in a different type of stratosphere who will just come out and we just talk over coffee, or talk over tea, or a cup of tonic, or, shots of ginger or something. Those are people who are really advanced within self. But the average person in a lot of the environments that a lot of you beautiful women were in, way too pretty to be in these places, by the way. And I don't care what nobody say. They can say that's superficial, but some women are too good to be in poverty-stricken places. And I'm going to keep it 100, because the more beautiful you are inside and out, and the more you carry yourself in that way, you are in danger. If you're in poverty-stricken places where it's violence, where it's self-hatred, where it's self-deprivation, you are in trouble, ma'am. You are in trouble. That's why those women don't never want, see, they're male centered. You are a hardworking person, very intelligent, very capable of creating the life of your dreams. But a lot of them were focusing on your love life. They hate that you don't have to do nothing and men just fall at your feet. You don't have to parade yourself around in a lustful way or a flirty way, and men just respect you. And they always hated that about you, because they thought that some big shot was going to come see you, be in your in your atmosphere and in your presence, and they were going to take you away from that place. But you were in a place, in an environment you had no business being in. You were always too good to be there, and they knew it. And they didn't want you to escape that place. And they always thought, and people can say whatever they want to say about Shira 7 or whatever you want to say. And this is going to be a controversial topic and a controversial take. And I don't care, because I'm always diplomatically and politically correct. But I'm going to say the quiet part that I think out loud. People talk about Shira 7 all the time. But one thing that she has said that is not a lie: if you are a quirky woman, if you are a classy woman, if you are a pretty woman with a gray head on your shoulders, and you want more for your life, you may not know how you're going to get it or whatever. But if you are any of those things, be prepared to be dealing with a lot of opposition in poverty-stricken places. Okay? And don't be quiet and be classy and pretty and intelligent and all of these great attributes. They're going to make your life hell, not just the women, the downtrodden men too. And they secretly hope that don't nobody that's established ever see you, because they think that somebody going to come scoop you up and take you out of that environment, not understanding that God has the power to be the man to scoop you up and take you out of that environment. Let me say that again. Sometimes it's not a man in physical flesh that's going to be your knight in shining armor. Sometimes it'll be God himself that'll come through and scoop you up and see your beautiful self inside and out and say that, Cinderella, you don't belong here. And he be the one to scoop you up and take you into the kingdoms of favor. And it don't matter what these people tried to do to you. They always knew that you were going to be one of one. They always knew that you were going to have a life of your dreams, not just living in your head. That was going to be your reality. They saw glimpses of favor on you in different seasons of your life, and they had no idea how, why her, God? That's what was around you. Why her? Why she's so smart? Why she's so pretty? Why she's so different? Why she's so creative? Why she's so quiet? Why it seem like she's mysterious? What is she up to? Is she sneaky? Is she up to something? You was not up to nothing. You was just minding your God ordained business. And they wanted to alter your reality at all costs. They wanted you rejected, abandoned, erased from life itself. But I thank God that whoever I'm talking to, and it could be one or it could be many, that you decided to stay on this planet no matter what people tried to put you through. They tried to punish you because of your beauty, not just your physical beauty, your essence, your soul, everything that makes you you. They wanted you to feel like it was illegal for you to exist. If you ever seen systematic discrimination, that's how they want you to feel. They wanted you to feel systematic oppression. They wanted to be your master in this reality and to destroy you at every turn. They were going to block you everywhere you went and everything you did. They were determined to try to play God in your life because you, ma'am, by existing is already favored. You are the spiritual inheritance. You are the divine birthright. You are the bank. You are the currency. You are the wealth. You are the riches. You are the abundance. You, ma'am, are the prosperity. Everything about you, from the top of your head to the soles of your feet, you are favored. And they thought that if they used psychological tactics and if they used spiritual manipulation, they could stop the hands of time. They wanted your faith twisted and altered. And everybody was just going to manufacture their way to favor by getting you gone. They needed you gone to pretend to be blessed. So if you went through seasons where it looked like things dried up, God did that to protect you. He wanted people to think that it worked so he can get you to safety. He wanted you to see everybody around you who could not benefit on your favor and what they would do if they could not benefit from you. And you got to see the hearts of people. And you got disappointed and your heart got broken because people that you love your whole life, you thought they cared for you and they wanted the best. And you found out that that was not true. They did not care. They were happy that you appeared to be down and out. And when they thought you needed someone, they decided not to come. But God, he did not forsake you and he did not leave you out there isolated and deserted and alone. So whatever they wanted for you, that was not your portion. And God showed them that he was mighty and that they cannot play him and he will not be mocked. So whatever they thought, if every single soul decided to leave or distance themselves from your life, he came in and he filled every role in your life, every role. He was your mother, your father, your lover, your protector, your bodyguard. He was your employer, everything, every role that the enemy thought that he had taken and stripped from you, God had filled himself in that place. So where they wanted you to be empty, he made sure you were full. Even when you didn't know what and how it was going to look, you go back and you look like, damn, how was I sustaining myself? How did things just seem to have worked out for me? Let me tell you something, ma'am. Esther, Ruth, Naomi, Candace, Sheba, all of you divine women, everything that those people feared and they tried to stop, they are living in everything they wanted for you. You are already in your vindication season. You are already living in the heaven of your reality. Already. All you got to do is look around in your life. You're living in manifested and answered prayers right now. And even though you may not have everything that you want from the tangible sense, you have peace that surpasses all understanding. And I'm talking about women who have been delivered from chronic fear, because that was one of the spells that they did on you. Fear and doubt, where you were stuck in a loop of confusion trying to figure out what had became of your life. God come through and he nullified every spiritual contract that they tried to put into place over your life. Now you have mental clarity, emotional regulation, spiritual fortitude, and now you are balanced within self. And now the outpouring from the heavens and whatever God has for the will of your life, that is trickling in a little bit at a time. But prepare yourself for overflow. And this is not a feel-good message. This is a prophecy. This is a prophetic message. And to whomever I'm talking to, you've waited a long time for this breakthrough. Don't you let nobody and nothing prematurely try to delay what he has called you to have in this season. Because it's not a person, and our warfare is not carnal. It's a spirit. Every time you are on the cusp of something amazing, something major, something monumental, here comes somebody coming out of nowhere trying to block your view. Don't you let nothing and nobody stop you from this insatiable appetite to always be in close connection with God Almighty. If you have, how you will know if someone is a divine destiny helper or they are a destiny robber is, do they make you feel more connected to God? Do you feel more divine? Do you feel more on fire to do more, to be more, to go further? That's how you know if this is from God or if this is from darkness. Because you will feel like, I can do more. I can be more. You feel expanded. But when it's not from God, when it's something that's trying to distract you before that breakthrough happens, you'll start to feel how you felt in the past. It's a familiar spirit because it's a familiar energy. Anything that you were delivered and set free from the past, you'll start to feel that energy lingering. So it may be lust, you'll start feeling that again. It may be doubt, you'll start feeling that again. That's what that person comes to do to you. They'll look innocent. They'll look like they're, you know what I mean? Just a normal person. But whatever energy they make you feel, you're picking up on the objective. You're picking up on their agenda. That's what that person is coming to do for your life. But if you feel more at ease, more peaceful, like, damn, I'm gonna go to the gym more. You know, they are inspiring you and motivating you to be more of yourself, the highest version of yourself. That's a destiny helper. That person's agenda is pure. But anything that does not make you feel more righteous, more ease, more flow, more peaceful, if your life isn't getting easier, that is a destiny blocker. That is a delay from the kingdom of darkness. If I don't feel more at ease, if my life is not getting better, if my mindset doesn't get sharper, you're not for me. They could be friend. They could be a person interested in you romantically. They could be a business partnership. It could be a client. It could be a customer. It could be anything. If it don't feel right, don't sit around and play with that energy. You got places to go. You got things to do. You have impact to make. You don't have time to play with these people no more. This is your season. This is your season of impact. This is your season of legacy building. This is your season. People always knew that you were going to be something big, but they did not know what. But you're living in this season of your life. And I proclaim that over your life. You ain't got to wait no more for nobody to come and give you nothing. You just keep showing up because that is what they do not want. The way that you get your inheritance and your birthright is by just being you, because it's all encompassed in you. You are the embodiment of the birthright. You are the embodiment of the inheritance. So if you're sitting around talking about, I'm waiting on my moment, you are the moment. You're the moment, girl. You are the moment. So whatever you're waiting on, it's waiting on you because you're sitting on the divine gold mine. You're the gold mine. You're the treasure. Nothing is hidden from you because you are that. When you're ready to watch chains fall off of your life and to see the shame of your enemies' faces, that's when you're going to stop playing small and be everything that they were always scared of you being. These people were scared of you. That's why it was a group effort. That's why it was more than one. It's always with you, it's always more than one. On a job, more than one. At school, more than one. In your community, more than one. It's always going to be more than one to try to get at you. Your energy is a dominant force of many. So you're always going to have weak legions coming after the one. You're never going to ever have opposition from one person, not you. It'll never be one man, one woman. It's always going to have to be multiples for you. And you are doing nothing but existing. But it is your existence that is a threat to the program of this reality. I hate